अब स्टूडेंट्स कुछ बात करेंगे about the official wireless standard that has come from IEEE. It is called as IEEE 802.11 standards. There are multiple variants of it, but in terms of standard, the IEEE has defined 802.11 for our wireless networks, and the 802.11 standard for wireless Ethernet or wireless local area networks, or Wi-Fi as we know it. They actually include the physical layer and the data link layer. As you know already, wireless LANs work on these two layers, the physical layer and the data link layer. Students, as I told you, the IEEE 802.11 or wireless local area networks are sometimes also called wireless Ethernet, or they are also called the Wi-Fi after the wireless fidelity after the Wi-Fi forum that is actually developing and growing the Wi-Fi as a local area network technique. Students, if we talk about the architecture of 802.11 that's given to us by IEEE, there are two different types of services that are offered by IEEE 802.11. The first one is called a BSS, or a basic service set, and the second one is called a extended service set, or an ESS. So in slide pe chalenge, and we'll try to look at these two services that are offered by IEEE 802.11 architecture. Students, the first one in this particular case that you're looking at is called the basic service set. That's the figure on the top. It's also called as infrastructure BSS, and as you see, it's basically different wireless hosts that are using an optional access point in the middle. So they can communicate with each other without this access point if they want. They can, it's basically the BSS without an AP. If the AP does not exist in this figure, it is a standalone network, and it can actually communicate. The hosts in this network can communicate within this network between each other, but they cannot send the data to other BSSs. If they want to send data to other basic service sets under IEEE 802.11, then they need to have an access point, and we call this as an infrastructure BSS. Without the AP, if the AP is not there, we call this an ad hoc network, and in this architecture, stations can form the network without the need of an AP. So students, just to be clear, without AP is optional. Without AP, wireless hosts can still communicate with each other, and we call this a wireless ad hoc network. If we have got an access point, which we definitely need if this BSS wants to communicate with other external BSSs, and if we have that access point, we call it as the infrastructure BSS. Students, the ad hoc BSS is shown by the figure below, and you have got the infrastructure BSS that is on the figure above. Students, the second type of service that's offered by IEEE 802.11 is the extended service set, and this is, as you can see on the slide, it is made up of two or more basic service sets with access points in each of these basic service sets. Students, they are connected. All these BSSs are connected through our distribution system, as you can see. And this distribution system, it can be a wired or a wireless network. The IEEE 802.11, it does not restrict this distribution system to be a wired or a wireless, so it can be anything, and all it's doing is it's actually connecting to each of the access points in the different BSSs that actually make our ESS. Students, the extended service set, it actually uses two types of stations. One is mobile, and the other one is stationary. So we have got two types of station in an extended service set. The first one is mobile, the other one is stationary. So students, in this case, as you can see, the normal stations, your wireless hosts, they are mobile, and they are free to move inside your BSS. And students, your access points, they are part of the wired LAN, and therefore they are stationary, and then behind the distribution system you have got a server or a gateway. Students, an additional point that I would like to make, when these BSSs are connected, the stations within the reach of one another can communicate without the use of an AP. So basically within this BSS, these wireless hosts can communicate without the use of an access point. If now you want to communicate, this wireless host wants to communicate with this wireless host in a different BSS, then it will have to communicate via this particular, it will have to use these two access points to communicate with the wireless host in another AP. Students, IEEE 802.11 standard, it defines 3 different types of stations based on their mobility. Students, the first type is called a no transition mobility, and this consists of all the stationary stations that we have, or the stations that only move within a basic service set or a BSS. Students, BSS transition mobility is our second station type, and this is the type of stations that can actually move between 2 BSSs. And students, the last one is an ESS transition mobility, and in this particular case, these are the stations that can move from one ESS extended service set to an other extended service set.